everybody, Chad here. So today, if I have time before it gets dark, I'm going to try to dig up 2 climbing roses, and they're a little bit far away from an archway walking into our house. I'll show you in a second. And then take the holes that the climbing roses were in, take Carolina Jasmine that's right up on the arch, move that over, and then put the climbing roses in these pots, because there's some concrete right up under the brick area under the arch, and so I don't think you can't move them closer where the jasmine is, because there's just too much concrete down under there for those roses to really root. Jasmine probably doesn't care, because jasmine can pretty much grow anywhere, but I'm going to move that to the rose holes, which I think will make the jasmine happy, and it'll be able to climb up the fence and then kind of go over and then climb up the roses if it wants to, if we want to do it that way. But I've drilled some holes in here. I've put some potting soil in about halfway, then I'm going to dig the roses up, try to disturb them as little as possible, and I'm hoping we don't mess with the jasmine's flowers, which are about to flower, but I really am more worried about the roses, making sure they're good, than I am the jasmine. So that's what we're going to do.
So this is the archway, our walkway here coming in, and you can see we've got a Carolina Jasmine, which is the more leafy plant right here. And then right here beside them, we've got some purple climbing roses on both sides. They're trying to reach across, but they don't get high. They're not like rambling, like climbing roses are just gonna get, 10, 15, 20 feet tall. They're gonna get around 8 or 9 feet tall, I think. So I'd like to help those get right up under this trellis, add some height by putting them into pots, and then let them grow up it, and the Carolina Jasmine kind of come where the roses are, go up and then across, and maybe climb up the roses, because it's not very aggressive. It'll just wrap right around those and not choke them out. So be a good complementary kind of thing. So some early color in the spring right now, and we may lose some of the blooms. They've got a little bit of blooms that have opened. We've had some freezing weather, which I think messed them up a little bit, and they've started over, but you can kind of see some of the yellow right there getting ready to open up, and very pretty flowers. You see them real early in the season. There's another one. So that's what we're going to try to do, and then we'll trim these roses up a little bit to kind of get them attached. I'm going to have to unattach them. I've got them kind of trying to go that direction in either way. So there's Molly the collie, gardeners, and we got a lot of construction going on all around us. So that's what you're hearing over there, that pounding. They're doing a roof right now. So we'll get going and see how this goes. I'm going to try, by the way, to dig this up with kind of make a big circle around the rows, go down all around the edges, and then scoop under and pull the whole thing up. So disturb the roots as little as possible, and then just do the same thing with this and dump that into there, and we're going to see how it goes here.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm at hey. Not hey. Not like the hey from the y'all.
Oh yeah, you were saying hey like hello.
Yeah.
Not hey like in the yard.
Hey in the yard. It's impossible to find a barn in the middle of the town.
Good thing about being in a garden bed that's been amended and redone is it's very soft, not like all the clay dirt around here and everywhere else.
Hey, done.
Good job.
Wait, are you doing planting though?
I'm going to take these plants up and try to put them in the pot.
One thing, do you want some planting to grow fine? The desert. It's like mine is the lake, and it's the hottest place on Earth.
Oh, that's right.
Well, the hottest place on Earth is actually not the desert, it's the volcano.
A volcano?
Yeah.
That is very hot.
That's the highest plane I know.
At this point, we're pretty much, I think, kind of going under the roots. Pull this whole thing up. Nope, not quite. Not bad. I'll get some of this dirt off. We don't want all this dirt. All right, that worked pretty good. Really did, very bottom of the roots were coming out down there, so. Cover this up and then we'll soak it really, really, really good. And I don't think that's gonna hurt this at all. Oh, whoops, blooper. Not sure if you can see, but when I pulled that out of the ground, I had that big, massive clump of soil. All I did was walk back over there, right over the hole, and just kind of teased it, just like you do when you pull one out of a pot for the first time to plant it. Kind of teased that a little bit, but I didn't pull any of the roots. I was just kind of doing like this, and it just slowly had some dirt fall off, just enough. You don't want a lot of that kind of dirt in here because it doesn't drain very well, and in a pot you want potting soil that's going to drain really, really well. So that really went pretty smooth. Now we can sit it here and just kind of train it all the way up there, which I'll show you if I don't get to today. We'll get to in a later video. Now I'm going to try to get the other rows out on the other side, and then we'll see about getting these jasmine moved out the way. Well, got the second one out and about to put some dirt in there. It was a little bit more rough. I thought I was actually getting the video. I didn't hit record, so there you go. But that one came from right over there. Hard to get to because of where the that was the bricks, and also this rose right here, this drift rose, it was just wanting to grab my legs over and over again with its thorns. And so get this thing potted up. We almost had a wipeout just now. One of my kids ran into our van with his scooter. So thankfully he landed on his feet. So there was a scream, panic scream, and then everything was good. But this is going good so far. Look how tall it is. I've been very careful because I don't want to get poked with these thorns. They're pretty vicious here. This is just Miracle-Gro potting mix with the fertilizer stuff mixed in for, like, I think it says 3 months or something, but it'll get a good start in here. These are still pretty much dormant. Some of my roses are starting to get a little bit more blooms than these have on them, but this one's not too bad.
Gus, come here. It's okay, man. No need to bark. Hey, Molly. How you doing? How you doing? That's a good girl. A little more quiet now. I let the dogs inside. Gus was over there barking, so he wasn't going to stop, I don't think. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on around here with builders and people going to crown, and sometimes drives the dogs a little crazy. Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna give them a good soaking, and these two should be good. Then we'll trim them up a little bit. Water hose is not hooked up right now over around the corner, so I figured it's just easier to use the old-fashioned pot. Ooh. Might have some holes in my jacket. In case you're wondering, this is a lavender crush climbing rose, and we really loved it this past year. They smell, and it did good, didn't give us any problems, was pretty healthy the whole time, and it still had, it was still blooming pretty much through at least November before it got cold enough to stop it. I'll water these really good for the next week. Make sure it stays hydrated, doesn't have any too much shock. It's also going to help to prune it because that'll conserve a little bit of energy and focus it on very specific places. And we'll actually do probably another video about how to do a how to trim a climbing rose. It's a little different than a regular rose, but overall it's not too difficult. I'm actually surprised I was able to do that by myself. I really thought I'd have to have help because this thing's kind of long and spindly, and it's got thorns just every few inches or so, every half an inch, and they're pretty big, as you can see right there. I think it's going to end up getting too dark to dig up the jasmine. Actually, I could just keep these roses in these pots for now, and then let the jasmine finish blooming over the next couple weeks, and then dig them up. Now that these are good, I'm really not worried about the jasmine. I said we're just going to go straight in the holes where the roses were. That way it may save some of the blooms too. I like this blooming this early when you want a little bit of color. We'll do another video too in a few days about trimming up just regular roses, kind of how to do it. It's really pretty simple, and I'll kind of show you how we clean up this part of the flower bed as you walk into the house. One last thing, because I have some drip hosing and things like that hooked up through here. I will not water these like this. Most of the time I'll actually have little piece that sticks down here, and it will water right there on the rose without splashing anything or wetting anything like this is doing, and that's much healthier for the rose. Cuts down on a lot of your fungus and things like that. All right, so looks like we got water coming out the bottoms a little bit, so they should be good to go for now. I don't think that's going to hurt them at all.